Hello YouTube, B3 here, back with another B3 Reads. I just spit all over myself because I'm a bitch. But, today, we're going to continue Monster Island by Wrath of Kitty on Wattpad. Yeah, it's loading, so give me a fucking break, alright? So today we are reading a chapter called The New King! So this is after Godzilla kicked his dad's ass because he wanted to fuck Mothra, who he'd met 3 times and now wants to mate with her. Whatever. So, the new king. Godzilla had been king for a few years, but no one treated him any different. Mothra had healed and surprisingly had no scars. She didn't live with him, but visited him often. Godzilla was clearing rocks on his cave floor when she flew in. "Hey, Godzilla." "Hey, Mothra, what are you up to?" "I just finished talking to Anguirus." "What did he say?" "He said he just finished talking to the mutant queen." "Eh? What's she want?" "She wants you to come over." I could see where this is going. She wants to fuck, dude. "All the way over to the mutant territory?" "Yes." "Did he tell you why she needed me?" "Yes, there is major fighting over there. They say 2 monsters named Megaguirus and Gigan are trying to overthrow her." "We can't have that, that's for sure." "Wait, isn't the mutant queen the one without a mate? She wants to fuck." "Yes, mutants have queens before kings, unlike us." "Ah, okay, I'll leave tomorrow. Will you come with me?" Fuck me. "No, I must stay to train the hatchlings." Oh, I guess that's her job now. Thanks for explaining that to us. "Anguirus? She asked for you to come alone." "Why? I have to bring my beta, right?" "I guess not." "Okay. Mothra? Yes? This is a serious question." "Yes? It's been years since Mount Godzilla had erupted." "Okay. I want to go to Monster Island." "Why?" "I'd like to see if monsters can live there." "Okay. I want you to come with me." This dialogue is awful. "Really? But that's a beta job." She's his bottom bitch, so. "You're my queen. I fought for you. I'm not going to never bring you anywhere." Bold words from someone who doesn't even let her live with him. "Okay, thank you. I will tell Anguirus that you'll leave tomorrow, okay?" "Sure. Bye, Mothra." "Wait!" "Yes?" He walked over to her and licked her muzzle. "Now you may go," he said. Mothra smiled. "Why, thank you, my good king," she laughed. Fuck my ass. Godzilla smiled at her and she flew to Anguirus. He returned to his work. After an hour, his cave floor was rock-free. "All clean," he said. Then he thought of something he has been wanting to ask Mothra. "Come on, Godzilla. You've been her mate for years. Just ask her," he thought. He sighed and walked to Mothra's cave. He looked in. "Mothra?" "Just a second," and a few seconds later she flew out. "Oh, Godzilla, did you need anything?" "Yes. Can we talk about it in your cave?" "Okay. You fist." It just says you fist. "Moths first," he said, laughing. Oh my god. "Ha, very funny," she said, flying into her cave. Godzilla sat on a rock while Mothra, of course, stayed in the air. She doesn't land unless she has to. She hovers when she doesn't move. Thanks for that author's note. "What did you need to talk about?" Do you think my spikes are sharp?" God, what a fucking pussy. "That's it?" It slipped from her mouth before she could stop it. "I mean, yes, they're like super sharp." "Come on, you stupid lizard, just ask her," he thought. "No, Mothra, I wanted to know if I what? Godzilla, you can tell me anything." He gulped. "Mothra," he inhaled and exhaled, and took one of her legs in his hands. "Mothra, do you want a hatchling?" "You want to have a kid with her, but she hasn't even moved in yet?" Cunt! Mothra gasped. "Oh, Godzilla, I thought you'd never ask." "Yes." Godzilla exhaled, making a weird noise with his lips. "I thought you'd say no. Why would I?" "You don't want one. It's too early, too much to handle, too busy. I could come up with a million reasons." "Godzilla, you know I'd," not capitalized, "do anything to make you happy, even if I didn't like it. That's dumb." "That's dumb. That sounds weird." "Oh, Mothra, you're..." By the way, throughout the entirety of this story, there has never been a correct "you're." "You're the best queen a monster could ask for. Thank you. Better than Godzilla's. I'm not that great." He didn't even know his mom. "You are to me." He rested his nose on hers and they both closed their eyes. He opened his eyes and let go of her leg. He walked out to the den. For once, Mothra wanted him to stay. Oh, so maybe she's the one that doesn't want him to live with her. Whatever, I couldn't give a fucking shit. The next chapter is called Biollante Gucci Gang. She must be, the Queen of the Mutants. When I read Queen of the Mutants, I pictured Destroya for some reason. I guess that's just because I think of Destroya as, like, really strong and noble. But Biollante makes sense. Godzilla opened his eyes. It was dawn. Time for him to go to the mutants' territory. He yawned and stretched and walked outside. Mothra was hovering outside his cave. Hi, Mothra. Hey, Godzilla. What are you doing here? I thought you might want to get there faster. Huh? I'm going to fly you there. No! Oh, come on. I won't drop you this time. Fine, I guess so. Great. Do you want to leave now? Now would be best. Okay. She grabbed his back and took off. Mothra flew quite fast. Godzilla wrapped his tail around her but kept his eyes open. He looked at all the Earth Defenders' territory that he'd never seen before. You're the king and you haven't even toured the territory, you fucking cuck? Maybe it's just too big. His land was huge. And he didn't just own the Earth Defenders' territory, he owned all the land on Earth. When he entered the mutants' territory, he was disgusted. Wait, why does he own all the land on Earth? That doesn't make sense. I'll see you soon, Godzilla. You know how to call me if you need me, Mothra said. Okay, goodbye, Mothra. I love you. I love you too. They pressed their noses together for a moment, then Mothra flew off. He's probably gonna fuck the mutant queen. I bet he fucks Biollante in the ass. Godzilla looked around, just plain disgusted. It was very muddy, a lot of trees were dead. The few living trees had ugly vines that had sharp taloned thorns at the ends growing around them. The air from his knees down was green, and the stench was horrible. He could barely stand it. His feet sank in the mud when he walked. He saw many dead animals on the ground, like deer and moose. As he walked, he stepped on something. He bent over and blew the green air away. He had stepped on a dead monster. He jumped back, and the green air settled back. He walked around it and scrunched his nose. This place was just disgusting. He couldn't believe that his father let it get this bad. You've been king for years, you fuck. If you wanted to take control of mutant territories, you could have tried something. You didn't even know about it till just now, you shit. He walked through the dead trees until he reached a jungle. It had the green air, but it didn't go to his knees. It ended well above his head. He walked through it, gagging. He had gotten trapped in the vines a lot. Also, what if this is just the atmosphere that mutants need to live? What if this is like paradise to mutants? Did you think about that? No, you only think about yourself, Dad! When he had his back turned, something pushed him. He landed in the vines, his face in the mud. He turned onto his back and looked at his attacker. He was ugly, like this whole place. He had purple crystals growing down his back. Didn't expect to see him in this book. He had them on his chin and the tip of his tail. His legs were bent, like he was crouching, but his front arms didn't touch the ground. He roared. His roar was really quiet, but not any less intimidating. Godzilla got up, tangling the vines in his tail, but not knowing it. Godzilla scratched this weird creature, only to cut himself on crystals. He growled and swung his tail, but it never came. Confused, he looked back at his tail. The creature took his shoulders and pushed him down. The creature then rolled him onto his back, getting his whole body stuck in the vines. The creature opened its mouth, and strange-looking flames came out of it, burning Godzilla. "Crystalak, stop!" a voice said. The creature looked up and roared. "How dare you?" the voice said again. It was a female, with a cooter. A long vine came out of nowhere, wrapped around him, and lifted him into the air. She had a head like a mosasaur's and a jaw with knife-like teeth, even on the interior lining of her mouth. In addition, 6 large tusks, 3 on each side of her mouth, protruded from the fulcrum region of her mouth. Large numbers of vines and tendrils came from her body. Some vines ended in sharp spear-like ends, while others sported small, sharp-toothed mouths. She had what appeared to be meaty flesh was seen underneath the tangled mess of vines and plant tissue. The fleshy surface was pink and had many wrinkles and lines, resembling a brain-like surface. They're doing a relatively decent job of describing Biollante. I'll give them that. One of her vines stretched out and had Crystalak in a grasp. She looked at Crystalak and said something, but it sounded more like growls and hissing. Crystalak nodded. She put him down and he ran away. Godzilla looked up at her. She was huge. Big old titties! I'm sorry for that, she said, cutting the vines around his body. Thanks. By the way, who are you? Biolante. And you must be Godzilla. Biolante? You so big! I am. Why don't you come back to my cave? You have scratches on your back and hands. They have mud in them. They could get infected. I'll wash them off, she said. He followed her, but as she moved, she flattened the vines in her path. They reached a small hole. Godzilla wondered, how could she fit in there? She put her head in and the rest of her body followed. Like that, he thought. He jumped in the hole. It was warm in here, and didn't smell nasty like the rest of the place did. She got a moss ball and dipped it in water. She came to Godzilla and rubbed it on his scratches, getting the mud out. Thanks, Biolante. So, who is Gigan and Mechagearus? Who are Gigan and Mechagearus, you troglodyte? Oh, them? They aren't really causing that much trouble. I told you guys she brought him here to fuck. What? Why am I here? You were seriously asking me that? You saw what the outside looked like. I called you here so you could help. Oh, I just hope you were a better king than Godzilla or Godzillad. What's wrong with my father? And what did Godzillad do? Godzillad? After Godzillas ate the death plant. Death plant? You think she picked up a disease? Ha! No, she ate the death plant. Death plants are beautiful to look at, but not to eat. They are deadly. Poisonous. It causes skin to change color, weakness, then death. So it was her own fault? Yes. Anyway, after she ate the death plant, Godzillas told him she did. He ignored her and blamed it on us. He then refused to believe we existed and ignored us. When Godzillas, his son, became king, he helped us a little, but not much. Then Godzilla became king. He did exactly what Godzilla did. He ignored us. I brought you here to see what my territory looks like. I'm sorry, I don't know what I can do. I don't either. I just want you to do something. Wow. Wow. I know. I'd hate to live in a place like this. We'll have to, first of all. What? We have to, first of all, what is all this green air? That's barely a sentence. When mutants grow angry, they let off green air from their body. They are scared. Half these words aren't even correct. They don't know the correct anything. They let off blue air, and if another monster is exposed to the green air, they will become angry and might even forget who's who. The blue air will make you very scared and hide all the time. And if another monster comes near, you will attack without mercy. That's why I stay in my hole all day. Wow, great queen. You just stay tucked away all day? That's terrible. She looked straight into his eyes. You are the only one who has been in my den in years. Oh, I heard your mother died. How did she? He looked down. When I was an egg, I was in my nest at Mount Godzilla on Monster Island. It erupted and my mother refused to let it die. She jumped into the volcano and went into the hidden cave where I was and got me. Then she jumped into the lava and threw me out of the volcano, sacrificing herself. How would you know it happened exactly that way? No one was there. You were in an egg. Whatever. Violante wrapped one of her vines around him, not tightly, and pulled him close to her. She bent her head so that it was only a few inches from his. Get that dick, girl. Don't worry, Godzilla, she's always with you. Violante pressed her nose on his, a monster's way of kissing. He didn't try to stop her. She pulled him closer so their chests were touching. Woo! Woo! It's okay, girl. He thought of Mothra. Shut up, girl. He thought of Mothra. What will she think of this, he wondered. But he still didn't try to stop her. Then, the red, or purple in the picture... What picture? There's no picture here. Part of her stomach touched his lower stomach, and then she sucked his dick dry. I'm sorry. I'll be better. He wanted to bite, or flame, or run, or slap her with his tail, but he still did nothing. She had been through so much. He didn't want to hurt her more. He did nothing. At this rate, it would be almost impossible for them not to get an egg. Mothra will never know. Biollante lives all the way in the mutant's territory, Godzilla thought. Finally, she unwrapped him and let him go. He said nothing and scurried from her den. He ran far, far, far away, deep into the mutant's territory. He had no idea where he was, so he sang. This song was special. Mothra could hear it anywhere. It summoned her. Wait, so did he fuck or not? And then it's got the lyrics for the fucking Mothra song. We've all heard it. Oh, wow. It's got all the lyrics. And then there's an author's note that says, to hear what the real song sounds like and further translation, go on YouTube and look up the Mothra theme song. This story has... just one of these notes would be too many. But if you're writing a story, don't write an author's note in it that says, if you want to actually know about this, look it up yourself on YouTube. Well, how about you just tell people, you stupid hoe? Godzilla looked up after he sang the song. A few minutes later, he saw Mothra flying overhead. She lowered and hovered beside Godzilla. Did you beat Gigan and Mechagearus, she asked. It is finished. Wow. So, did he nut or what? I want to know. All these fan fictions that I've read, where there's Godzilla romance, they all skip over the fucking. And you know why that is, right? Do you know why all of them have them mating and having children, but they never actually talk about how getting the children is made? Do you know why? Because all these fan fictions are written by fucking children. They're all written by children who straight up just don't know what sex is, or they're afraid to talk about it. And that's not bad. Everyone has a point in their life where they don't know all that stuff. But, like, don't write a story about it if you don't know about it. Write what you know. There's a reason people say that. This next chapter is called Mothra and Biollante, so I guess they do end up meeting. Godzilla thought of what he was going to tell Mothra the whole flight home. Mothra noticed that he wasn't talking and that he was tense. Did he not beat Mechagearus and Gigan? No, he wouldn't lie to me. He said he did, Mothra thought. Finally they were home. Godzilla didn't want to tell her, but he knew he had to. No. She would never find out. He wouldn't tell her. That's the worst decision you could have made, dude. Mothra set him down in the outside of his cave. Mothra, yes? Did you say you wanted a hatchling? Yes? Do you want to now? She sounded surprised. If you want. But you just got back. Aren't you tired? No. Okay, then. Mothra stayed with Godzilla for the whole night. They had only mated for an hour. Not bad, I guess. But Mothra didn't want to leave Godzilla. This was their first time anyone in the Godzilla family had mated with one from the Moth family. They had always mated with the Barag family. That just sounds like incest. And the offspring had always looked like the Godzillas. But I guess they're a dominant gene. But the Moth's genes were stronger than the Godzillas, so they had no idea what their offspring would look like. You also don't know if your offspring is viable. Just saying. Also, Godzilla always gets with Mothra in these fan fictions. Just once I'd like a fan fiction where Godzilla gets with somebody else. Come on! Godzilla opened his eyes. Mothra lay beside him, sound asleep. Her wing was on top of him, acting as a blanket. He yawned, but didn't get up. He curled his tail around her abdomen, the part of a butterfly moth that is after its legs. Thanks, I'm not a fucking idiot. Her eyes opened a little. Good morning, Godzilla. Morning, Mothra. She stretched and laid on her back. I'm hungry. You want whale? Nah. How about shark? What kind? Great white. Fucking blow my brains out. Ugh, those are so hard to catch. It hurts when they bite. King Godzilla, afraid of a little shark. Okay, I'll get one. Wow, what a coward. What a little insecure turd. Mothra lay in Godzilla's den puzzled. When monsters mate, the mate smells very much like the female. The male smells very much like the female. What does that mean? But Godzilla had another scent that wasn't his own, but it wasn't Mothra's either. She had smelled it when she was flying him home. It was just the mutant territory's scent, S-E-N-T. But I smelled that and it didn't smell like Godzilla. Maybe I should ask him, she thought. If I was her, I would have assumed that he was fighting other monsters like he went there to do, and I would assume it was one of their smells. However, she is right to be suspicious because he nutted in a plant. Godzilla came back to the den, a little gray and white fish in his jaws. This one was annoying. It kept biting me. Ha! Now hand it over. I'm hungry. They ate in silence. When they had finished, Mothra swallowed her fear and asked him, "Why do you smell like this?" "Huh? Like you?" Because, no, you smell different, like a mutant, but not the territory. What did you do there?" "First, what are you accusing me of? Second, I did exactly what I needed to do. I got rid of Gigan and Megaguirus. Then why do you smell like a mutant?" What Godzilla should... Oh, actually, what I was about to recommend he say is what he does actually say. "It was probably Megaguirus. She tackled me and got her scent on me." "That's not it. Godzilla, don't lie to me." "She's smart." "I'm not lying. I'm not stupid, I can tell. Your eyes are slits and you're sweating. Listen, Mothra, if you're going to accuse me of something I didn't do, then just leave." "Fine, I'll be happy to." Mothra slapped his face with her wing as she left. "You go, girl. You go, girl." I've been Team Mothra pretty much this whole story. And in every single one of these I've read, except for one, Godzilla was almost always abusive in some way towards Mothra. In all but one of the fan fictions I've read, Godzilla was abusive in some way towards Mothra. She can always do better. Always. 7 years had passed since their fight. Whoa! They had made up a day later, but now Godzilla was sick of something, and he was called to the mutants' territory. Mothra decided to be a good queen and go for him. Ooh. Bad idea. It took her long to fly there. The area between her legs swelled dramatically. More than any other moths had. Oh, I guess because she's pregnant. She finally got there but didn't land, or even go near the ground. She flew, looking down until she saw a small hole. That's Biolante's cave. I hope, she thought. She flew into the den. Sure enough, there was Biolante. She raised her head and looked at Mothra. She opened her mouth, showing thousands of teeth. Mothra covered her face with her wing. Wait, Mothra cried. Who are you, she growled. I come from the Earth Defenders. You called for Godzilla. He's sick, so I came instead. Oh, what is your name, she asked. Her back still turned to her. Mothra. Oh, she turned around. The red part of her stomach swelled too. Congratulations, Mothra said. Huh? On the hatchling, she said, pointing to her stomach with her leg. Oh, thanks. Who's your mate? I don't really have a mate, but the father is so strong. He came over to me a few years ago. He's going to help my territory. Who is he? Titanosaurus, she said, the first mutant off her head. No, you might know him. He's an Earth Defender. Oh, what's his name? Godzilla. Wow! Woo! Woo! Mothra's eyes widened and red dots began to form in them. Excuse me? Godzilla, of course you know him. He's your king! Yes, I know him. When did this happen? She thought to keep her voice calm. Like 7 years ago, the first time he came here. Maybe I'll be his queen, and my hatchling will be the next king or queen. Then Mothra lost it. Her eyes turned bright red. You won't ever be his mate. What did you say? Don't ever raise your voice at me, she growled and showed all her teeth. I just want to say, I'm not entirely sure Biolante did anything wrong. Godzilla didn't turn down her advances. It's very obvious from this conversation that she did not know Godzilla had a mate. Sure, she might have just mated with him to secure the mutant territory's position and ensure that they would get the help they needed. However, that's something that kings and queens have done throughout history, mate for political reasons. So, I mean, Biolante's not really doing anything wrong in my eyes. Mothra ignored this. He's my mate. If you were too stupid to notice, I am pregnant with Godzilla's hatchling. 7 years pregnant! Biolante widened her eyes. What? You come into my territory? Into my cave? And you lie about Godzilla? Mothra looked at her, then sped out of the cave. No, you don't. She climbed out of her cave and looked around. Where was Mothra? Battle? Oh my god, these pregnant women are gonna fight each other, and that's so funny to me. It's like that cutscene in Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, where the shirtless pregnant chick slides in and shoots everybody. Mothra swooped in at full speed and slammed into the back of her head. Biollante fell to the ground. She pushed herself up and looked at Mothra. Mothra swooped in again and aimed at her face. Biollante opened her mouth. Mothra tried to stop, but she flew right into her mouth. Biollante slammed her jaws shut. Mothra's front half of her body was inside her mouth, getting severed. The other half was trying to get the front half out. Then something slammed into Biollante's back, and she coughed up Mothra. Mothra fell to the ground, the front half of her body covered in teeth marks. She gasped for breath and looked up. It was Godzilla? I thought his ass was sick. He got there really fast, also. Biollante, still raging, attacks Godzilla ruthlessly. Oh, that's right, because they have the mist that makes them rage out. Godzilla flamed her face and Biollante recognized him. She backed down and scurried away. He bent over Mothra. Are you okay? You ugly rat! She screeched and, fueled by rage, struck Godzilla with her teeth. He deserved that. What? Godzilla asked, surprised. You mated with Biollante, she said, and whacked him hard with her wing. I didn't, he yelled. She told me you did, idiot! She came at him full speed and cut his arm with her wing. I'm sorry. Stupid, idiot, liar, betrayer, she yelled as she attacked him many times. Yeah, that gas is probably affecting her. Godzilla grabbed the tips of her wings and held her. I mean, she should be mad, I'm saying, but this kind of goes against Mothra's character that we built up for a while, because she's always stayed calm in the face of adversity. But now she's in the mutant territory with that gas that makes her angry. She struggled but couldn't get free of his grasp. Godzilla grabbed the tip of her wings and held her. Look, I know it wasn't right. It wasn't right to keep it a secret. It wasn't right to do it in the first place. I'm sorry, Mothra. You are my only queen. You always will be. Please forgive me, he said, looking straight into her eyes. Her eyes turned back to sapphire. I'm sorry that I attacked you. I was angry. I shouldn't have. She swallowed hard as tears fell from her eyes. I'm sorry, Godzilla. Forgive me, she pleaded. Forgive you? He's the... What? I mean, she attacked him, and that's domestic abuse, but they're also kaiju, so... You will always be forgiven, Mothra. Once again, you're the one that needs forgiveness, you piece of shit. I'm so sorry, she said. Godzilla pressed his nose onto hers, and they both closed their eyes. Mothra, there is no need to be sorry, he said, his nose still on hers. A tear fell from Mothra's eye. Mothra, my beloved Mothra, you will always be my one and only. Wow. The next part's called The New Egg, and it has a picture of Manda on it. So Manda might be in this part. It looks to be a little longer than some of the past parts, so we're going to stop for today. I think it's already been a little longer than usual, maybe? Or a little longer than usual for this story. Normally I only do about 2 parts for this story, but I think I did 3 today. So that's it for this part of Godzilla Monster Island. Thank you all very much for your support. If you would like to help us get some paid books to read, like some weird, dumb, self-published stuff, or maybe some kaiju books, definitely support us on Patreon. That'll also help us make many other videos. We also have Facebook, Twitter, our Discord, all kinds of cool links in the description below. Thank you all once again for your support. And next time, I think we're just going to do another Monster Island next time, and we're going to wait on Anguirus' diary. Since that's technically starting a new series, we're going to wait on Anguirus' diary until we've finished Monster Island. So that's it. Thank you all once again. See you all later.